We must also take briefing of the House from some members of the public. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, we may also receive further communication from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, so in a nutshell, business has been scheduled for Tuesday, the 10th of February 2025, Wednesday, 12th of February 2025, Thursday, 13th of February 2025, and then Friday, 14th of February 2025. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The business statement has been presented. I will now take comment from the members. Honorable Deputy Minority Whip,
Mr. Speaker,
are you making comment on the business statement?
Mr. Speaker, I'm making comment on that, but you, as the Speaker, you need to guide us. Like my Chief Whip rightly said, even though the majority Chief Whip is new in leadership, but he needs to definitely understand that if you want to read the business statement, he is not the chairman of the business committee. That application needs to be made. And Mr. Speaker, to also guide us from the practice of this House, if after prayers you are not going to do the other item 2, 3, and you are moving to item 5, and then you are varying the order, we should be able to, you should inform the House that you are varying the order. If the application is coming from the majority side, that an application to vary business, and there must be reason for such. But the majority whip cannot just stand on his feet and come start reading business statement when actually the next item is roll call, message from President and the rest. And Speaker, you could guide us by telling us that you are varying the order of business, and that hasn't been done, and it is bad for our parliamentary practice.
Thank you very much. Your point
Speaker,
is well
my 10
noted.
minutes is up now. The 10 minutes is up now, and I'm drawing your attention as I have raised Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution.
Any comment on the business statement?
No,
Honorable Majority Whip, you have presented the business statement, and I want to take comment on your business statement. Yes, Honorable Minority Whip.
Speaker, I've seen that my good friend presented a statement. A number of issues I found conspicuously missing. He may want to apprise the House. The first one was two matters, in fact. First one had to do with the programming of the Ghana Health Service, which I see has been rightly captured. And the second one was a statement which was presented on renewable energy and its usage and adaptation, and the consequential directive from the second Deputy Speaker. Apparently, it was the second Deputy gave directive on same subject, two subject matters. And when we met the last time, the majority leader had said that he rather prefers that because we have a Minister for Energy, we should rather program the Minister for Energy to apprise us instead of the Energy Commission, which was a directive of the second Deputy. I can't find it there, even though I concede that they've programmed the Ghana Health Service. That of the Energy Minister is not there. If my colleague would take notice and do the needful. Secondly, Speaker, we are aware, our side has filed a number of questions. I know the orders say admissibility is in the bosom of the Speaker. Yes, these questions have been admitted. I have letters which have been copied me that these questions have been admitted. I can't find the questions advertised on the business statement. I don't know what the issues are and what the program is. Can can my good friend tell us why the questions are missing? Again, my good friend knows I've been raising this matter about the committees. The committees are overly delayed. The composition of the committees are overly delayed. We on our side are done. We are done. And Speaker, the reasoning they cited. Now, we cannot be at the beck and call of the executive. It cannot be the case that the executive have not brought the full complement of MPs who are going to constitute ministers, and therefore it's delaying. Honorable Cheweb, I think you can do better. You have already, the last time you showed us 2 big files. Where are the files? Where are the files? And I have called that we don't go beyond today. Clearly, he's still dragging his feet. We cannot go beyond Tuesday. By Tuesday, submit your list to the clerk of the committee of selection, and the report must be generated for a motion to be moved. We cannot be at the beck and call of the executive. Because we cannot be. Members, even your side, everybody is eager. Your side is eager. Everybody is eager to know the committee they belong. The delay is unacceptable. The delay is not acceptable. And Speaker, I want to not further belabor this matter. My colleague, I know his work ethics. I know Honorable Dafabepo is thorough. When he wants to work, he really works. Let's not further delay this matter and leave this matter hanging. Because these are the issues I've raised for the benefit of the doubt. Don't miss any of them. I spoke about the energy minister speaking to the renewable energy matter. Then I spoke about the committee. Then I spoke about the third one. Which one is the third one? Did you take notice? So please respond to them. Speaker, thank you.
So, Honorable Minority Chief Whip, Honorable Habib, I am on the floor. Honorable Minority Chief Whip, if you look at the order paper, item numbered 8 is report of leadership on the formula for the composition of parliamentary delegations. Then B, second report of the committee of selection on the composition of other standing and select committees. So it is a business program for today. Let's see the way it goes. 2, questions admitted were just transmitted to the ministries. So the ministers will appear before the House and appropriately provide answers to them. And you know, some of the ministers are even yet to be sworn in.
I don't know if it's the case. My colleague is capable of handling the questions. So, with respect, would you kindly allow him to come to the dispatch box?
Well, I would give him the opportunity, but these are matters that you assist with the knowledge of. So I'm surprised you assist with the knowledge of these matters, and my honorable minority whip is still raising them. I will now give the floor to the presenter. Okay, you can ask your questions and then he will compound them to come.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to find out from the majority whip, when will the president deliver the message on the state of the nation, and when are we going to get when is the budget also coming? Mr. Speaker, just to add to what my chief whip said, at the moment the president have appointed 56 ministers and deputy ministers, 11 with 4. If you bring your colleagues, those who are left, their only hopes are now on the committees. So if you continue delaying the committees, it means that they will be hopeless, because they are missed out in ministers and deputy ministers. So if you continue delaying the committees it will be a problem. So far, only 40 MPs out of your 183 have been appointed ministers and deputy ministers. 140 are hopeless. Their only hope, like my sister is there, is on the committees. So please, Chief Whip, let's finish the committees. We have already submitted our own. And except that, even the sitting arrangement, it is not done yet, Mr. Speaker. I have reached out to him that we should be able to finish it. Your colleagues are seated anyhow. Your seniors come, they are seated at the back, and you should be able to do this job. It should be something you should be able to finish. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I have listened to the concerns raised by members in respect of the business statement. So let me respond to the issues raised one after the other. Mr. Speaker, in respect of the briefing to be given to the House by the Ghana Health Service, that has duly been slated for next week. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, it's been slated for next week, I believe Wednesday. And so when they are ready, we can take them on Wednesday. Mr. Speaker, in respect of the other briefing from the Ministry of Energy, the committee, the Honorable Minority Chief Whip, if I may have your attention, you raise these matters. The committee decided that we should allow the Ghana Health Service to brief the House next week, and then the week after that, we'll bring the Energy Minister and his agencies to also come and brief the House on the energy matter. So that was the decision. That is why you don't see the briefing from the Minister of Energy on the clean energy for next week. We have only slated the briefing from the Ministry of Health for next week. Now, in respect of the questions, the Office of the Speaker related, I had a copy of the remitter letters yesterday, and I'm sure that you also had your copies. So the questions have been remitted to the respective ministers. And given the context, we know that the ministers have just taken office. So as a committee, we want to give them at least 1 week to settle and respond to the questions, so that next week, after next week, we can slate them for them to come and respond to the questions. So the questions have respectfully been admitted and remitted to the various ministries. So that's in respect of questions. Now, the committees, you and I know, you know how this work is, but we'll get it done, I'm sure, by Monday. Like Speaker, due your attention. It's slated on the order paper for today, but clearly we may not be able to take it. So it's a matter that is already before us. Now, the Honorable Habib raised two issues. When sonar will be delivered by His Excellency the President, and then when budget will come. The indication I have tentatively is that sonar will be delivered a week before the budget. But the tentative period for the delivery of the budget as given by the Honorable Minister responsible for finance is that he is expected in this House between the 3rd and the 5th of March. The 3rd and the 5th of March for budget. So depending on when he's able to fix the date, sonar will be a week before then. So sonar will be delivered dolly, and then budget will follow. So, Mr. Speaker, humbly, these are the responses I have in respect of the issues raised arising from the business statement for now. Thank you very much.
Speaker, yes, with respect,
Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
and I say this in good context, with good intent. Yesterday, Leader, you were here, where our colleague Doc raised the matter of meningitis, and 14 lives, we are told, as reported by his statement, were lost. Because the Ghana Health Service has been programmed to appear before us, does it find favor with you that, within the limitation of time, we inform the Ghana Health Service, since it's a matter that concerns lives being lost, so that we add it as a subject matter to the Ghana Health Service, so that when they come, then they can, as the saying goes, they kill two birds with a stone. think we should look at that. Leader.
Honourable members, I think conveniently we can add the issue to it so that they can come and holistically address both.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I was at a business committee meeting and the issues were raised and discussed. But in the national interest, there are some important matters that I would want to raise for consideration of this House, since the Minority Chief Whip is taking charge of today's matters for him to ferry same to government. Mr. Speaker, first, we expect that the Minister of Finance will come to this House next week to brief us on this issue of a nominee of the President going to the central bank, parading himself as a governor, when in the letter nominating him, Mr. President himself has said that it is subject to the consultation process required of the yet-to-be-constituted Council of State. This is a constitutional bona fide which nobody in the Republic can do away with. So we want the Minister of Finance to brief this House on how the matter is being managed. In fact, the minority, as responsible as it is, has written to Mr. President. We have not received a response yet that the Minister of Finance, if he is programmed to appear before us, can help us to understand what is really happening at the central bank. Mr. Speaker, if leader of government business can push for this on Tuesday, it will help the nation. This is about the economy, and if international partners are not too sure who is heading the central bank, we are aware that the governor, Dr. Addison, is on leave prior to retirement. There are two deputies. We are aware that one of the deputies has resigned and is left with one deputy. So in terms of the hierarchy, there is no set vacuum to result in a nominee rushing to the place with the media, because a deputy can act as the acting governor pending the Council of State, receiving the letter from Mr. President and deliberating upon it and all that. So please, leader of government business, please take note. Mr. Speaker, there is also an issue of great concern to us as a minority caucus. Mr. Speaker, on Thursday, the 30th of January, some matters took place at the appointment committee. Mr. Speaker made some pronouncements on it. The leadership of this House, I refer to my respected colleague, the majority leader, and my good self, met with the Speaker. We had a very fruitful discussion, which resulted in a solution of same on the House floor on Tuesday. Of course, the Speaker gave some consequential directives that there is a committee to inquire into the matter so that we can have a way forward. Mr. Speaker, I would want to say this for the records, that Mr. Speaker said without any equivocation that the committee's hearing must not be a matter for public debate. The video is there, I've procured it, and members can play it. Mr. Speaker also went further to say that there are things that are known to us as MPs, some words that we use that are best understood by us, the public may not appreciate it. Mr. Speaker, we were of the view that in view of Mr. Speaker's absence from the jurisdiction, we should engage with the Speaker on this matter. The majority leader and I agreed and discussed with the chair of the committee. Come today, Friday, and when he comes, we would meet Mr. Speaker so that we discuss the way forward. Mr. Speaker, let me say this. It's very regrettable that the chair of the committee, who is supposed to be a neutral referee, has granted no less than 6 interviews to the media, casting aspersions against my person, attacking my personality and the minority, pronouncing guilt and all. If we as parliamentarians are talking about collective peace, then each one of us must keep to the side of the bargain. I have written a memo to Mr. Speaker as part of the due process that I want to follow, but it is unacceptable that there will be live telecast of events that Mr. Speaker has directed, that it shouldn't be a public hearing. And I emphasize this because those were the orders of Mr. Speaker. The audiovisual can be procured. I have procured it. We can check it. That is exactly what Mr. Speaker says. So I don't understand why there is this public hearing where witnesses are being invited. People are saying all manner of things. I restrain my side because I want to respect Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, I want the public to know that what is happening by the chair of the committee is being done in bad faith. That is not how a neutral referee is supposed to behave. Enough of the insults, the attacks, the aspersions, and the castigation. When we don't even know the outcome, he was on radio saying that the minority is guilty. Guilty of what? Guilty of what? We would all tell our story. The threat to our lives, where people were elbowing us on the stairs, where people who are not MPs were part of the struggle. We all want peace. If indeed we are putting the matter to a peaceful rest, then in the national interest, let's all retreat and conduct ourselves as such. Mr. Speaker, that is my second most important issue. The third matter I would want to bring to the attention of the House has to do with the attendance to this House by the majority caucus. Mr. Speaker, we know that there are 181 or more. If all these empty seats already quorum, yes, it doesn't matter. I'm not in government business. I'm not doing government business. Don't worry. You are doing government business. You are doing government business. My members have gone to their constituency to do some constituency work. They've taken my permission. Well, we cannot do. You are super majority. If the super majority cannot marshal its numbers, then what is your majority for? Mr. Speaker, all these seats, this side it is only one and another. Look at all the seats. Mr. Speaker, so a colleague has raised quorum. I believe that Mr. Speaker, in his wisdom at the right time, will take the necessary steps to enforce the laws on quorum. That said, Mr. Speaker, in the interest of peace, I want to reiterate the second point that we've written to Mr. Speaker, respect the authority and office of Mr. Speaker. We await for him to take a decision on our letter. Meanwhile, if the chairman still wants to proceed, we will not be part of that one-sided committee. Our members have withdrawn from the proceedings because the chairman is prejudiced. The chairman is prejudging the issue and indeed is not a fair and neutral referee. He himself, in October 2024, when there was this impasse on vacant seats, he openly to the media threatened to beat the majority then. That if they come and sit on our seats, we'll beat them, quote him. This is what he said. Is it the same person who today is pursuing a high moral, high standard? Mr. Speaker, it is important. Mr. Speaker, please, it is within my right, far right to make the point. Please permit me. Mr. Speaker, I've restrained myself.
Honorable minority leader,
the practice
so long
is that,
as it's within your right.
Conclude.
Honorable,
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude.
Very well, conclude.
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. But respectfully, I think the posture of this House since Tuesday has been heckling is part of politics, but reckless heckling is not part of decent politics. The majority must know this. You must hear and have the opportunity to oppose me. You must hear me in silence and catch the eye of Mr. Speaker and rise gently from your seat and also make your point. That is the practice. This issue of shouting does not help. Mr. Speaker, I've made my point and I thank you.
Thank you very much. Majority, please take note of the concern. I will proceed to have the business statement adopted. Please.
Mr. Speaker, when I raise the quorum issue, it is 35 minutes now, Mr. Speaker. It's 35 minutes now.
Subject to limiting your comment to the business.
Mr. Speaker, I drew your attention to Article 102 of the Constitution that we don't have quorum to commence business. Mr. Speaker, it has been 40 minutes now. 40 minutes now. 40 minutes now. Mr. Speaker, you must enforce the Constitution. You are a lawyer by all standard. 22 years at the bar. You shouldn't be invited into this. It's a constitutional matter. It's a constitutional matter, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the business statement as presented is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, you must enforce the Constitution. You must be able to uphold. And Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, up to now, we are not up to 92, 93 to commence business. We are not up to, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, you must adjourn the House now because we don't have the number. We have to adjourn the House now. We don't have the number. You must adjourn the House now, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members in the House, but before doing so, just permit me to acknowledge the presence of our dear students from Boso Senior High School visiting the House. They were led by Isaac Yabua, Gideon Anson, and Edith Nunana. They are teachers from Boso Senior High School. Honourable members, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I wish our children thank you very much. Honourable members, we need about 91 members for quorum. It's 73. It's now 74. I will accordingly proceed to adjourn the House. The House is hereby adjourned to Tuesday till 10 o'clock in the forenoon.